Hello friends and welcome to my channel. Today I will talk about a topic that is very applicable to all of us who have ever needed to use a resume, create a resume, and apply for a job. The topic of today's video is how to create a resume for a marketing job post, but don't go away just yet because I said the word marketing, because the tips that you will hear in this video are actually going to be relevant and very useful even if you aren't a marketer and applying for a marketing job. So if you are someone who is in need of updating their current resume or creating a resume for the first time in their career, then this video will be very important and very helpful for you. So I suggest that you keep on watching and let's get started. First, let's get this through. Recruiters receive hundreds, if not thousands, of resumes for a specific job post, and realistically speaking, there is no way that they can actually go through all of these resumes and review them in detail. Put yourself in their shoes and it'll be very clear to you how important your resume is in terms of representing you and shining through all of the other resumes that they receive. A great marketing resume should be well written and well formatted to stand out from the crowd, as it is what gets you through the door for your dream job. It is the first thing that the recruiter sees about you, and I see this as the knock on a door. And if the recruiter opens that door and sees something that's interesting to them, then they invite you for an interview. It's the document that should sell you to the employer, so it is important how you say it and not only what you say in your resume. So imagine this, even if your background is perfect and it's the best match for the position that you're applying for, you still need to attract the attention so that they know what is really inside your resume. A recruiter looks at a resume for approximately 6 seconds on average, so imagine how little time you have to shine through and impress them. If he or she isn't attracted at first glance, then you probably lose the chance of moving forward and having an opportunity for an interview, unless you know someone from the company. As marketers, it's actually somewhat funny that we find it challenging to sell ourselves and sell our own skills to employers, because that's basically what we do for a living. We help the sales team sell better and sell the products and services that the company is offering. But for some strange reason, when it comes to selling our own skills, we often find ourselves in a rut, and we just simply shouldn't. So perhaps something to help us with this is, let's think of our resumes as a product sheet, a landing page, or a marketing campaign, and let's approach our resumes in that way. Which means we need to start by identifying our target audience, and if you're a marketer already, you probably know how important this is, because this will change the whole messaging and how you create your document. Once you know who you're addressing your resume to, you can really adjust and match what they want to see and meet their expectations. This should impact the keywords that you use within the resume, the mission statement that you use at the beginning, or the skills that you highlight, or the formatting that you use. So I guess we can take this as my first and biggest tip, is to put yourself in the shoes of the recruiters and really identify and make sure you know your target audience, who you're addressing your resume to, so that you can really put yourself in their shoes and prepare your document, prepare your resume so that it will meet their expectations. So now that the introduction is out of the way, let's get down to some more specific tips and notes about how to create your resume. Let's get the first and most important thing out of the door. You cannot have a very long resume. It should ideally be 1 page in length, and I know that this is very difficult once you actually accumulate years of experience. In my case, this is actually something I find challenging because I have many years of experience, many different types of experience, and when I try to fit everything in 1 page, it's actually pretty difficult. In any case, you have very limited space, so it's very important to choose the words that you are putting on your resume very wisely, so that you make the best use of that space. Don't tell long stories, but rather highlight what is most important and what is very relevant to the job that you're applying for. If you had some responsibilities at your previous job, for example, but they don't really apply for this job that you're now applying to, then don't put them on the resume and save it for something that's more relevant. Secondly, define your value proposition and highlight this in the beginning of your resume document. You can think of this as a resume objective or summary depending on whether you are in the beginning of your career or whether you are already advanced in your career. Write 1 to 2 sentences that will give a quick snapshot of your goals and expertise. I started filming the video when she went down for a nap, but she takes the shortest nap, so she's already up. And we're going to continue giving the tips with Ata. So let's move to the next point, which is giving details about your education and employment background. The most important thing I want to share about this one is don't tell long stories, because as mentioned in the beginning, you have very limited space. No one is looking to read your long stories. They ideally want to see very quick snapshots and bullet points where they can follow your progression and see the accomplishments that you've achieved in that role. Another point that's connected to this one is don't use chronological order, but use reverse chronological order. So add the information in the most relevant order so that they see that first, and the less relevant ones are down below. A tip about the employment part is to include quantifiable notes and numbers and KPIs and achievements so that your progression is more visible and clear. Another thing that is super important to have on your resume and to have it correct and full is the contact information. This sounds like a no-brainer, and you're probably thinking right now to yourself, why is she even mentioning this? But believe me, I have seen resumes which did not have proper contact information or had it very cluttered and difficult to read through. So have your full name, have your email address, have your phone number, website if you have one, if you have a portfolio, a link to the portfolio, and if your social media accounts are relevant to the field that you want to work in, include those social media handles and make sure to add some hyperlinks to those accounts so that they are easily accessible. So let's also talk about formatting, which is extremely important. So one thing that I see very commonly with resumes is just using very simple and very plain and boring Word document formats, which have a long story and everything is in just one single large column, and it makes it pretty difficult to go through the information. Even if you don't have good design skills, there are still very good resume templates that you can just take and use from Google Docs, or you can use Canva, or there are other resume templates as well that are out there and downloadable. So make sure you find a format that is clear looking, that has sections. I personally like the formats where there are different sections that are divided by either white space or lines or different color codes that give different types of information. White space is your friend. Use some white space. You can use different lines, dividers. You can also use different colors in your resume, which is something I really like. But don't make the colors steal the show from the information that you're sharing. So just be sensible about that. But I think it is great to use colors and different dividers and all kinds of things, and also different formatting such as bolding or using italic, or different sizes or different fonts. On this point, I actually have another video on my channel, which is how I use Canva to create good resumes, and I will make sure to link the video over here and in the description box below, so you can check that out, and you can also find other tips on mostly formatting in that video, but that is actually a very good one too, so definitely check that one out after this one. One thing I want to point out is to save your resume in a PDF format and send it in PDF format. Don't send editable formats to recruiters unless they specifically ask for something like that. Alright, these were the tips that I wanted to share for creating a good, effective resume for a marketing job post, but also any other job post. I hope you found these helpful, and I hope you go ahead and actually apply these to your resume and let me know if they work for you and help you to get your dream job. I will be extremely happy if these tips will actually help you achieve your goals. So me and my little helper right here, we wish you the best of luck with your job applications and hope that these tips are helpful. See you in the next video. Take care, guys.